Happy Wednesday, everybody. Another incredible Wednesday wisdom. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have I got a treat for you? We are going to talk about pumping up your business very, very quickly. I have one of the masters that has absolutely came on the scene. We're going to talk about that first generation mentality, waking up every day with that, and how to expand your real estate business in short order. So, without further ado, I want to introduce our guest today. We have none other than Kunal Seth of the Seth Brothers down in Houston, the king of Houston down there crushing it. Sorry, I almost called you Seth. I think Seth Brothers.
That's
Kunal,
all
will
right.
you will you introduce yourself to anyone who's checking you out for the first time?
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony, for having me on your podcast. So, I'm a real estate professional based out of Houston, Texas. Been in the business for about 8 to 9 years. But my background is I'm originally from India, came to US in 2001 to go to grad school, got my master's, worked for a consulting company, Deloitte. That's what brought me to Houston. And then I worked in the oil and gas industry. Did that for over a decade in corporate America. 2013, I said, let me get my license, started doing real estate part-time while I was still with corporate America. Did that for 7, 9 months, and I absolutely loved it. It was end of 2013 when I quit corporate America, put my 2 week notice, and took a full-on dive into being a full-time realtor end of 2013.
Wonderful. So end of 2013. So you're just coming up on 10 years now, right? In the business. And wow, what an incredible success story you've had. You've achieved all the accolades, Houston Business Journal. I mean, you name it. If there's an accolade out there, you've done it. You're actually right now in your building, right? And you got an entire 3-story complex commercial building that you own and that you've been able to purchase through all of your efforts as an agent. So been crushing it. What's your team up to now?
So currently we have 43 team members. Of them, we have 8 employees, and rest are agents and realtors. And we've grown over the years. And in my EXP organization, I have 155 active agents. Of the 155, 30 plus are on my team. Most of them are in the Texas market, but some of them are in different states and countries as well.
Wow, wow. So that is an incredible story in such a short period of time. One thing I want to do, Kunal, is go all the way to the beginning, right, and talk to some of the newer agents that look at this and say, "Wow, you did all this in 10 years. I bet I could do that." Or maybe it's the reverse. They're saying, "I could never do that," and we'll talk about that at the end in terms of mindset. But one of the things that I love, and just looking at some of your YouTube videos and looking at some of the trainings you've done and all the stuff that's out there on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. Kunal's everywhere. But is this idea of first generation mindset? What is that? Because I was really interested in that when I heard you talking about it.
Absolutely happy to share with you and the listeners today, where I have a certain philosophy or certain strategy applied on a daily basis, and that allows me to get a lot of success. So primarily, I'm not goal driven, but I'm vision driven. Someone who's goal driven would say, this year I want to sell 100 homes, 200 homes. I want to get this sales volume or that sales volume. Why I do have certain goals, but my driver is my vision. So I have a concept called the first generation mindset. And Tony, what that means is being the first one in your family to do something. First one to be a realtor, first one to be a single mom, first one to go to college, first one to come to America. When you are the first one to do something, it's extremely challenging and hard when you get away from what your family has been doing for generations. But as you go down generations, Tony, it becomes easier for your kids and your grandkids. So I was not born in America. I was born in India. What I came to US was when I came to this country 20 plus years back as a 20-year-old, I came here with a vision to be financially independent, to create success, not just for myself, but for my kids and future grandkids. So when you're vision driven, I have a 3-step process. Tony, you have an ask as a Texas broker that all of us realtors stay in compliance with all the correct regulations. As a realtor, my ask is, hey buyer, hey seller, would you consider working with me? So most people lead by their ask in life, which could be prospecting buyers or clients. I lead by adding value to my clients and customers and to the market. And then comes the ask. So first step is you got to be clear about what your long-term vision in life is. But more importantly, when I was a brand new realtor in 2014, I case studied all the top realtors in the Houston market. and I found one thing in common. All the top brokers, realtors, and teams had preferred status with builders, which means a buyer goes into a sales office, says, I want to buy a home. I'm not working with a realtor. The builders would refer realtors to them, and they get tons of referrals. I said, I want a piece of that action. I want to get this preferred status with these builders. That was my ask. Now, as a brand new realtor, if I said, hey, builders, make me preferred, they said, who the hell are you? Just came from corporate America. Have a nice day. So I had to lead by adding value to these builders. And what I did was I had a strategic plan. When the first year, my team closed about 28 million in sales volume, first in the business 2014. Of the 28 million, 21 million was new construction homes. So
Wow.
how I led by adding value was, let me first sell a lot of the product. Let me learn about the floor plans. Every Saturday, every Sunday, Tony, I was doing an open house. I would put up 50 to 80 open house signs. And I designed these custom open house signs, 3 feet by 4 feet. These were not from your Home Depot or Lowe's. That had my branding, my logo on it. It would take me an hour to put them up, an hour to take them down. I would do them rain or shine every Saturday or Sunday. So someone who's listening in today who's a brand new realtor, yes, we have social media. Yes, we have TikTok. We have all of these things. But the basics of real estate are never going to change. And the basics are your face-to-face interaction, your interaction that you have in person with other people. And that best way of doing that is through open houses, through networking events. So when I would do these open houses, buyers would come in, I would engage with them. When they would say they want a certain type of home, layout of a home, or so many suites, so many bedrooms or bathrooms, I would say, well, that's the builder, that's the neighborhood, and that's a floor plan that would work with you. I would take these same buyers, take to these builders, walk them through every sales office, every model home. In time, yes, I was making sales, but the builder said, well, this team, the Seth Brothers team, is selling a lot of new construction homes. They're actually helping us close more deals. So when I was case studying the top brokers, what I focused on was what they were not doing well, which was they would sign the contract on day one and show up at closing. They would not go with the buyer to the design studio. They would not go with the buyer for the pre-construction meeting. They would basically be at the beginning and end. So when I came in, I trained my team to hold the buyer's hand from start to end, attend all the meetings, design center, pre-construction, pre-drywall meeting. So we became an extension of the sales team. But that was my core philosophy that let me add value to these builders, sell their homes, and in time, they will give what I want. My ask was get preferred status. And within 12 months, my team was approved to be a preferred builder partner with Taylor Morrison Home, Darling Home. Over the years, Beazer Home, Meritage Home. Some of them are local builders, some of them are national builders. Now, what happens, Tony, over there is every week I get a call from a salesperson. Kunal, I have a buyer staying in my sales office. They want to buy a home. They have a home to sell, and they're not working with the realtor. Would you mind assisting them? And voila, that creates a
Nah.
lot of leverage. Yes.
Pass.
So
No.
most realtors, Tony, look for shortcuts. A shortcut is you go on the local MLS, look up resale homes, and you present them to a buyer, a potential client. Now, what you see on HAR or local MLS, the buyer can see that as well. There is Zillow.com, there are all these websites. However, inventory from these builders is not available on the local MLS. Sometimes they list, but most times they don't. So selling new construction has own expertise. You have to know the neighborhood, know the builder, know the floor plan, and stay up to date on a weekly basis. So it takes a lot of work up front. But once you know the plans, once you know the neighborhoods, then you get more leverage. In a year, if a new agent was to sell 10 homes, and these are all resale homes, the likelihood of you working with the same 10 listing agents is relatively low. But if I send 10 new construction homes, then the likelihood of me working with the same builder is very much higher. So over the years, I grew my team. I have 43 team members. But since 2020, last 3 years, every year, my team has closed over $100 million in sales volume. Every year, my team closed over 300 transactions. 2022, my team did about 117 million sales volume. We closed over 335 transactions. Now, a lot of that is listings and buyers, but more than 60% of my business is buyer contracts. Of them, 90% is new construction. So that's the foundation core of my business. I want to pause here. I want to make sure that this is making sense. Would follow thoughts you have on this, Tony?
No, I'm just staying out of your way, man. I just pull a string and watch you go. Just let's watch him go. No, I think that's incredible. And I think that for everyone watching this and that tunes in week after week, one thing that I always say: success leaves clues. Right. So we've heard from so many of I mean, tip of the iceberg, people that are closing 300, 400, 500. You know, we had Adam Olson, they're doing over 1,000 daggone transactions a year, and they're all saying very much the same thing, right? From Andrew Franklin to Adam Olson to Pat Hayes to, you know, you name them, right? They're saying, and Dayton Schrader, it's about these relationships with builders. So, you know, I don't know if I have to come and knock on people's door or you know, shake agents up and say, hey, pay attention to this. But this is a textbook. I mean, locks, and you do exactly what Kunal said in copy success, right? Success leaves clues. Model success, you can call it success modeling. Some people just call it copycatting. Either way, it doesn't matter. Do find out what successful people are doing, find someone that's doing it at that level that you want to be, and copy and just say, hey, I want to do that. And I love how you mentioned leading with value, right? Don't go in with the ask, you go in with the value and value and value, and you get to a point where you've stacked up so much value that they begin asking you, how can I return these favors? Right? Because you've done so much for me. And that's, you know, you and I love Alex Hermosi because he has a great quote that you should approach your business relationships the same way that you approach a marriage, right? And the success rate of getting a yes to a proposal is like 99.9%. Why? Because the man doesn't ask until he knows she's going to say yes, right? So it's very much the same thing when you're in a business relationship. You don't make the ask until you're sure that they're going to say yes. 99.9% sure they're going to say yes after adding the value and showing the value and demonstrating and showing and showing and showing. And then you can turn around and at that point make the ask. Or in many cases, to your point, they come and ask you.
So what I do, Tony, on a daily basis is if my ask is for a build a partnership or a transaction, or recruiting someone, having someone join my team or join EXP, I tell them, you know what, on a weekly basis, we have mastermind sessions, we have networking events. If on an ongoing basis, I can add value to you, make you more successful by training you, coaching you, mentoring you, would you be open to evaluating, partnering with me, with my team, or with EXP, or coming into my success co-working space? So what I do is I let them know what my ask is. I don't hide behind the bushes to say, let me just help you, help you, help you. But I let them know, here's what my ask is, but I'll bring it to the forefront after I've helped you be successful, add value to you. A lot of people are shy about putting the value, their ask out there. So I have a three-step process: vision, value, ask. Vision, value, ask. So when people ask me, Kunal, what's your vision? I want to leave a legacy of impact, which is 10 years from today, 50 years from today, 100 years from today. Guess what, Tony? This earth will keep spinning long after we are gone. It was spinning long before we were born. It's going to continue. I want to leave something behind that Kunal was a realtor, was an entrepreneur, was somebody in the Houston, Texas market that helped other people be more successful. That's why, you know, in Houston market, I'm building a three-story building, a 21,000 square feet project. And I'm going to call the building, the logo is on the major freeway 59. It says the Seth, SETH, which stands for Successful Entrepreneurs Transformed Here. That also happens to be my last name. Millions of cars go down this freeway every day. They keep seeing my name up there. In the long run, after I'm long gone, that name would still be relevant in the Houston market, Texas market. So for me, you know, yes, financial success is important, but what am I doing today to leave something behind for my kids and future grandkids that they can say, there was this guy who helped me be more successful today, left a legacy of impact. That's why everything I do is about long-term success, future goals, and vision-driven than buying the biggest home today or driving the nicest car today.
Wow, and I love that legacy focus, right? And that it's about the long term, not just the short term. Because when you define that long term vision of where you're going, where your family's going, where your business is going, and begin with the end in mind, it changes everything, right? It changes the beginning, it changes the actions, it changes the everyday activities because it's almost attracting you, it's almost pulling you. So yeah, I absolutely love that mentality. I have to think of something for King now. I don't know. So what is it? Successful entrepreneurs thrive here? What
Uh,
was
uh,
it?
SCTH, successful entrepreneurs transformed here. When I
Transform
was,
here.
was
That's
coming
cool.
up with this name, Tony, a lot of people said, why trans? Kunal, you should say trained here. You have a training center. And here's what I tell them. You know what? Humans have trained monkeys to go into space. That skill is being trained, but that skill cannot be transferred to your offsprings, to your kids or grandkids. That's what training is all about. But when you transform someone, you're transforming their generation and the kids and grandkids. So what I believe is I can train someone to sell a home, to do an open house, but transformation means I take them from start to end, transform their life. That's why transformation is more impactful than just training. So when I came up with this acronym for SETH, I said, a lot of people said, Kunal, it should be training, training. That's more intuitive. I said, I don't care if it's intuitive. I believe in transforming people's life. There's going to be successful entrepreneurs transformed here.
I love it. I love it. Transform, the transforming of your mind. I love that. And the difference on transformation as well is something that is constantly occurring, right? It's not something you train once and then hope that it sticks and lasts. Transformation is something it's a continue evolving process, no matter what market we're in, up market, down market, 8% interest rate, 3% interest rates, on and on, right? A new construction, rental properties, whatever. It's about the constant evolution and the constant training, and constant training, I guess, which leads to that transformation. So wonderful.
Right.
I love that. Now I got to think of some cool acronym so I can be like you. So
Hey, I mean, you have the name of a king. I mean, your last name is King, right?
I know, but it's too on the nose, man. I it's like if I just go King everywhere, it's too on the nose. So, anyways, I'll think of that and I'll shoot you a text or something. So,
Yeah, yeah.
another thing that I think that I love that you said is perfection is unattainable. So I saw
Mhm.
a video of you on your social media. So tell me about that. Can you break that down about perfection? I know I sometimes am guilty of perfectionism and saying, no, this has to be 100% perfect or else it's not going out. We're not going to do it. How do you combat that? Or what do you mean by that?
Yes. Let me give you my tagline first, and I'll explain what it means. So I believe in ready, fire, aim. 99% population is ready, maybe, aim, 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 and then maybe
Never.
fire.
Never
Or when the
fire. Yeah.
fire, they misfire.
Yeah.
So, human nature is if I was playing darts or I was target shooting, we want to hit the bullseye every time. Nobody wants to waste bullets or waste energy in hitting outside the scope. They always want to hit the red dot, bullseye. But here's a fact of life. Yes, people do hit bullseye, but it does not happen all the time. And with the pursuit to hitting the bullseye, they don't take enough shots at it. They don't take enough attempts at it. So I believe that while you are in the business making attempts to achieving something, while you may not hit the target, but you're doing at bats, you're taking attempts on a daily basis, whether you're trying to sell a home, list a property, or prospect someone. So you're not going to hit the bullseye all the time. So I believe whatever I do, I just go ahead and do it. Even if I don't hit the bullseye and I just took the practice shot or took a practice pitch or practice, speech on stage, so be it. So even early on, I love public speaking, getting on stages, motivating people, coaching them, mentoring them. But do you think I was ready 7, 9, 10 years back? No, I was not ready. But I would take every opportunity to get on stage, speak in front of people. And now I've gotten better and better at that. If I had tried to fine tune and be a perfect speaker, all the perfect scripts, I may not even had so many at bats. So what I believe, Tony, is perfection is important, but most people will never attempt to even fire because all they want to do is hit the bullseye. So my advice to people listening today is take more shots, go at it. If you take 20 shots, even if you don't hit the board or miss it completely, you're going through the motions of doing something, prospecting clients, doing open houses. And once you do it over and over again, eventually you will hit the bullseye. But the amount of attributes you will get from attempting doing it, that's what makes you successful.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail right on the head there. It's about the only way to get to that presumed perfection is through the practice, right? And the onerous time after time after time. One thing that I always say, is that it takes about 10,000 hours, let's say, to become a master in any skill, right? So, but most people never even get started with hour one. So, and that's where the difficulty comes in, is that if for me, right, it's like if it was going to take me 10,000 hours to do something, or if I know I'm going to be terrible, the first 1,000 times I try to do this is going to be terrible. I want to do 1,000 today, right? And get that over with today because I know today's going to be the worst I'm ever going to be. And that's what's encouraging. So if I get that out of the way now, and then the next iteration and the next iteration, and next iteration will be better, and that'll be better, and I'll be better. And the reality is it usually doesn't even take that 10,000 hours, because by the time that you're 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 hours in, you're like, oh my gosh, like this, at that point, you're a master. You've already achieved mastery, because your results for the effort that you put in expound, right? And it excels so much faster because you have so much to build on. But if it takes you 5 years to even make your first sales call, a lot of times that's what catches people up. So I love it. I think that's a great. What are some of, you think, the biggest misconceptions that newer agents have? I know we're spending some time now on new agents. We're going to get to the folks that are starting to really do this thing full time, but a lot of agents are brand new, or a lot of agents are just getting started. So what are some of the misconceptions that you had to overcome to even get started? I know that when you left your corporate job, right, it's scary, right? I mean, you were working with was it the oil and
Oil,
gas field, and
oil and gas.
so probably steady, secure job, good income, that whole thing. What was it that made you decide to kind of take that leap of faith?
So being immigrant, I was not born in this country. When I came and worked in corporate America, I had a vision that I wanted to get a base salary of $100,000. So my last
Woo,
year in
big
corporate
money.
America, yeah. So in 2013, when I was still in corporate America, my base salary was $93,000 in change, and with benefits, I was over six figures. And that year in March, I told my hiring manager that this year in September, October, when I get my pay raise, I would like to be at $100,000. Okay, I shared that with him, verbalized that, and that was the first year when I was doing real estate part time. So I used to work for a company called Transocean. I would travel all over the world, go to these oil rigs and do operational safety, or a very technical job. I would be gone for a month, come back to Houston, get 1 month off. So 1 month work, 1 month off. That's when I got my license. For 6, 8 months, I did real estate part time, and I had earned about $60,000 in commission. I said, this is good, but I'll continue to doing it part time. In October 2013, Tony, I got my pay raise. My salary went up to $99,987. $13 short of $100,000. I've been with this company for 4 years and 7 months or so. In next 4 months, I would have been there 5 years. I would have had, benefits, retirement for life. But I was so done. That small straw of $13 broke my back. I said, I'm done. Came back home, spoke to my wife, said, honey, that's what you want to do? Go ahead, quit corporate America. So that was a straw that broke my back. Most people want to have a plan B, want to have a
Mm-hmm.
plan C, especially the new agents. Oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing. If you really want to be successful, you got to do it full time. Again, have some financial backing, have some savings, because our business it takes time to earn commission. So my first paycheck in 2013 came after 3.5 months for merely $2,100. That's all I earned. But in time, I earned more and more money. So most realtors make the mistake that they come in the business, they're influenced by HDTV and what they see on different shows. You
Every day's
walk
like
in,
that. What do you mean? It's like that every day.
what they see on TV, you driving in a nice car, open the door, $1 million home, and it's said that's far from the truth. Yes, it does happen. Those are the outliers. But the hustle and drive you gotta have on a daily basis. At the same time, if you are a single parent of your family, having financial backing or having some reserve is critical, because when you don't have enough financial backing or savings, what you come across is a desperate agent. It's the same thing when you walk into a store and a salesperson keeps hounding you. What can I help you? What can you want them to get away from me? Leave me alone. Let me just browse what I want to see. Same mistake agents make when they meet a prospect at an open house network. Hey, I'm a realtor. I'll negotiate. Can I help you buy home? Can I help you buy home? Back off, because they're coming with a desperate mindset. They probably have not made any money that month. So having financial backing is a foundation of having long-term success. The day you show you're desperate for a sale, for a contract, your potential client or a buyer seller, they will sense that and they will realize that they need me more than I need them. Right from day one, Tony, not because I had some savings, that's the mindset I have. I bring certain value to the transaction, certain value to the market, and I'm successful. I project to my market, not today, even 9, 10 years back when I was a brand new agent, that you need me more than I need you. I'll help you make the right financial decision because of all of these attributes of success I have behind me or value can add. But when you project that way, not in a cocky way, not in an arrogant way, but you demonstrate your knowledge. And blessing for me, Tony, was I partnered with my brother-in-law, Sonnet. He was a realtor for 20 plus years, was in Boston, then moved to Houston. And just a coincidence, his last name is also Seth, Seth. He's born and raised in Boston. I was born and raised in India. And he's married to my sister. So when I quit corporate America in 2013, I partnered with him. And we called a team the Seth Brothers team. We thought Seth Brothers sounds much better than Seth Brother-in-laws. The second big mistake new
Good choice,
realtors
by
make
the way.
is that they are, for lack of a better word, greedy. What I mean by that is, hey, I'm an agent, I'll sell a home, I want to keep all the commission to myself.
Uh-oh.
They don't they
You,
don't
we're,
get
we're, we're,
mentor.
we're going to talk about something good here. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt. I'm
yeah,
excited to
yeah.
get into this.
Want to keep to themselves. They don't want to join the right brokerage. They don't want to join the right team. To me, success comes by surrounding yourself with the right minded, right experienced people who will be a mentor. A blessing for me was when I was new in 2013, my brother-in-law was my business partner. He was my mentor. I learned a lot from him. I'm learning from him. But being part of a team, you create leverage because in 2013, when I was a brand new realtor, somebody asked me, hey, Kunal, so how many homes have you sold? I would say, my team has sold 385 homes in the last 17 years. My team has sold these many transactions. Of them, maybe one sale came from Kunal. So I was not misrepresenting, I was saying my team. So I was using my business partner's financial success, transaction success, and real estate success as my team success. So a lot of new realtors don't see the big picture. They go on their own. And as fast as they join, faster they exit because they're not able to get success. So I would highly recommend, if you're a brand new realtor, highly recommend consider joining a team in your local market because the leverage you create by having that transaction success, market share is priceless.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right? So it and I love that mentality. I mean, it's about building on the success that other people, right? You don't have to start the wheel from scratch, right? Partner with someone, ideally if they got the same last name, it helps. Right? And leverage that success, right? And help each other and get to the top. So I love that. That's not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to a different place where you talk about commission, because I know you do a lot of new construction stuff, right? And you mentioned, hey, a lot of agents feel like, hey, I want to keep all the commission to myself. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on buyer rebates, right? Because I know that in the new construction industry, especially, that tends to be a hot topic. And I know there's two schools of thought on it, and I'm interested to hear yours. And for brand new agents that don't know what we're talking about here, a lot of times you will have agents that will offer their buyer a percentage back of their commission. So say it's a 4% commission the builder's giving, and they'll give 1 or 2, sometimes 3% back to the buyer client. What are your thoughts on that, Kunal?
Happy to share that, but let me start with my punchline, my tagline. Cost is only a concern when there's lack of value. If you're working with a buyer who's buying a new construction home and you don't demonstrate enough value to them, they are going to ask you a piece of your commission, 1%, 2%. So in the Houston market, most builders pay 3% commission on the sale. And when a buyer goes into a sales office, they're working with a salesperson. They can work with them directly, and they can find a buddy realtor to put their name on the contract, and they can get the commission back. So to answer your question, I'm not supportive of branding, marketing yourself as a discount realtor. But do I discount my commission on a case by case basis? Absolutely yes. If I'm working with a client, they're looking to buy a new construction home and they're looking to sell the home and I earn commission on the listing side, would I be okay with giving a portion of my commission on the purchase? Absolutely yes. But that does not change the value I bring to them. So in Houston market, we have over 50,000 licensed realtors. A majority of them advertise on radio and in print. Call me, put my name down. I will only take $500 and rebate all the commission back to you. Okay, so that's a huge setback or roadblock for professional realtors. So early on, I made the decision that I'm going to elevate the value I provide to these buyers, whether they're buying a new home or new or resale home. And when I add adequate value, what commission I earn almost becomes irrelevant. So when I meet with a client, whether they're calling to buy a home, rent a home, or do a transaction, I want to have a face-to-face meeting. I bring them to my office in the conference room. We all the awards in the back wall. In the consultation meeting, I asked them, all right, so you want to buy a home and go through the whole process. I demonstrate to them my knowledge, my expertise, what I can bring to them. Now, if they bring up and say, well, you know what, I really want to get half of the commission because it's a new construction home, then I share with them the potential roadblocks or things that happen in a new construction process. So when you're dealing with a builder, that's a national builder that builds hundreds of homes, there are going to be issues. There will be
Right.
construction delays. There are going to be this and that. Who's going to be your advocate? The person sitting in the sales office who works for the builder, or do you want somebody by your side? So I explained to them the process. Now, if in the end they come back and say, nope, all I want is half the commission or discount, I say, you know what? We're not aligned. You might as well find somebody else. They probably give you more commission back. So I win my clients, but effectively demonstrate value working with me or my team. What we do, and we not deliver, we over deliver. Because when there are complexities, when there are issues, I have access to the sales team, construction team, management team. One phone call from me or my team can resolve issues, whether it's wrong cabinets put in or tiling issue, whatever the issue may be. So what you have to do as a new realtor is educate the buyer of the home buying process. One strategy I use all the time is when clients come to see me, I ask them a question. So when you came to my office, let me make an assumption. Use a GPS to get to my destination, to get to my office. This person on MapQuest or Google Maps tells you turn left, turn right. You follow those guidelines to get from point A to point B. I am going to be your GPS in this home buying process. If you go on your own, yes, you can get from point A to point B, but you would not know which highway to take, which freeway to take, and your timeline to get from A to B could be longer. The potholes you're going to hit could be numerous. You could hit into roadblocks, road closures. What you need is the right partner, a liaison, a GPS when you go from A to B. And I explain the journey of home buying process. Explain to them the complexities or all the stuff that goes behind the lending process, inspection process, appraisal process. Because if you are a first-time buyer and all you think is, here's I go to a sales office, buy a home, it's going to be easy breezy, it's never that. There's always complexities behind it. Was I able to kind of explain my strategy, Tony?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's it circles back to something you said earlier, and I think Elizabeth Riley, my friend, says it best. She has a quote about commission breath. She's like, as soon as agents start getting that commission breath, there's a problem, and you're looking at people like they're just a paycheck, and you're desperate, and you're willing to do anything just to put some money in your pocket. Typically, because you're not coming from a position of financial strength where you've had savings saved up and you have a solid financial basis. So and I think you said as well, you need me, I don't need you, right? So when you're coming into these situations in that dynamic, and you're able to sell your value and not just sell the services, and realistically, I mean, those agents that are charging $500, $1,000, whatever 1% commission, they're probably worth that. I mean, realistically, in terms of the value that they bring to the transaction, yeah, write my name and give me $500 for what? I mean, I don't even know if it's worth $500 for that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so the reality is, I love the fact that you're like, hey, we're going to show up. We know all the pitfalls and potholes. I know the VP of the company. I can call him. I got him on speed dial. And we're there every step along the way. We'll be there to talk about some of the design choices and what impact that may have on resale value. Hey, I would consider on this plaid paint that you're thinking about, maybe not doing that. Think about your resale value. It's up to you. It's your house, but you may want to think about resale value. Hey, do we go with the corner lot versus the interior lot? These are different things that you may want to think about when if you just got a $500 agent or a discount agency. They won't be there, right? So I love that quote that price is what people are left with once value is removed. And I think that it's so important to keep that in mind. And I'm also glad, Kunal, that you're honest, right? Because I'm the broker, I get to see all the stuff on the back end, right? And I get to see so some people I talk to, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't ever rebate anything." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I can see all these things. So I appreciate your honesty and saying, hey, it's a
Yeah.
case by case basis. But and yes, we want to be competitive in the marketplace. But to your point, it's about that value, and it's about not coming across as desperate and begging clients for their business. That usually means that you got nothing to offer of value. So
We are trained early on, don't take no for an answer. It's yes, 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 yes all the time. But saying no is powerful. What I mean by that is, you know, in the early years in 2013, 2014, when I was a brand new realtor, I would spend numerous hours, showing clients homes, prospecting them. And finally, Tony, when I would find them the perfect home that was right for their family, they would say, all right, Kunal, now that we found the home, can I can I get half of that commission? I was like,
I've heard
what are you
that
talking?
conversation before. Yeah,
What are
yeah.
you talking about? And it was my mistake. See, I trusted them that they would trust me with the process, allow me to earn what I deserve to earn. Within 6 months, I got burned multiple times because in 6 months, if you work with someone, well, you can make a decision: do I cut my loss? Okay, fine, take the discount or walk away, one or the other. But it's frustrating either way. But then I changed my strategy. I'm going to be upfront and ask the potential client, here's the game plan, here's what I'm going to do. Do you have an expectation to get a discount? And if they say yes, and the service they're expecting, if it's not aligned, I'd say, you know what? We're not aligned over here. Please have a nice day. I'd rather sit at home, watch TV, be with my kids,
Or
do
find a
nothing,
better client.
find a better
That's
client.
yeah.
And 9 out of 10, they say, no, no, no. You know what? We really want to work with you, with your team because you can add value, help you make the right financial decision. But saying no is powerful because you are letting the market know that you have something of value. They need you more than you need them. Again, Houston has over 50,000 realtors, and there are plenty of opportunities to prospect realtors, also buyers. Every day, almost 300 people move to Houston on a daily basis. What's the first thing they need? Shelter. So, what I would tell new agents, don't give in with your value. Demonstrate value, join a team, be part of an organization, and be selective who you work with. Don't just chase the low dollar amount. And when you do that, you'll be known as a realtor who will do anything to earn some business, not as a value added partner.
Yeah, and it's a race to the bottom, right? I forget who it was that said there's always. I think it might have been Dan Kennedy. There's always someone that's willing to go out of business before you do. So the more people are like, oh yeah, well he'll do it for 500, I'll do it for $250. And it's like it's a race to the bottom. So what really was the point? All you earned was to go out of business before they did. So um, no, I think that's great, man. Oh my gosh, we're way behind. Okay, so let's fast forward. We've talked, and I think we've given a ton of value to new agents. By the way, like, share, subscribe, click the bell notification. If you haven't gotten already enough value to go out and build yourself a 6-7 figure real estate business, I don't know what you're doing. Because I mean, Kunal's dropping bombs. He's dropping bombs. So that said, we talked to new agents. Now let's step into the agents that have made that leap. They're starting to see some traction, starting to see some success. Maybe they're capping, maybe even icon. How do they take things to the next level, right? And from that 6-figure business now to a 7-figure real estate business. What was your path? What was your journey during that time period?
So I believe everything should be process driven, where most realtors, are fly off the seat. They do what they do every day. They wake up and run around on a hamster wheel. When you have a system in place, process in place, and you do things intentionally, that's where long term success comes. So if you've been a realtor for a few years and you have broken the barriers, making 50, 60, $100,000, but you want to take your game to the next level, liking and loving all your existing or past clients is critical. When you are in a state of mind where you have a networking event or happy hour, calling your past client, having them come in, when it's a birthday, giving them a birthday gift, or when they have an anniversary, sending them a card to their home. Doing these things with love on your customers is critical. But if you don't have a system behind it, Tony, then you're just going off a notepad and on memory. So there are a lot of CRM systems. EXP gives us KV Core. If I was not with EXP, KV Core cost me about $400 to $500 a month to get that CRM system. At EXP, it's given to us realtors at no additional cost for free. And it's a powerful tool. You can add contacts to it. It can set up drip campaigns. You can link KV Core to your social media platform, to your MLS system. When listings come in, you can push them from there. So it's all about what are you doing to leverage on the past success that you've had. It can only happen if you have a system in place to track all the leads, track all your business, love on them, touch base with them, create drip campaigns, create campaigns to engage with them on a regular basis. At the end of it, as a realtor, what is our ask? Our ask is to get a buyer or a seller to do what? To earn commission. If your ad campaign or your drip campaign talks about, hey, listen, I helped you buy a home, let me know if you can refer me to someone. What are you doing? You're leading by your ask. On the other hand, if you lead by saying, I helped you buy a home, or things have been good in your area, home values have changed, homestead exemptions coming up, let me know if you want me to do the analysis for you. At the same time, my team has helped so many people make the right financial decision in buying their second home, third home, investment homes. So instead of directly asking for the referral, add value to them. In my case, this building that I've built, it has multiple areas for co-working space, networking space, for having happy hours. I bring in my clients, I talk to them, have social events, happy hours. When they come in, that's when they're in happy state of mind to even consider referring me someone. So staying on top of mind with a value add proposition is the key. Staying on top of mind of calling your potential client or potential prospect every week and saying, hey, do you have a client for me? Do you have a client for me? Do you have a client for me? They're going to get sick and tired of
It's
you.
not going to work. Yeah.
They're not going to work. But if it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, give them something of value, whether it's a small gift or engage with them. Find out what's important to them. And once you add value, you'll stay relevant, and then business will come to you.
Love it. I love it. So for the final subset of agents that are, and by the way, I mean, we can stay there probably all day, but as far as using a CRM and using CRMs effectively, we've done a few of podcasts, we had, Stephanie Stone, we've had other professionals that really dig into KV Core, and you can use it with any CRM, whatever your CRM is, Follow Up Boss, do your thing. Chime, now we have a partnership with Chime, which is cool. But, use your CRM, but use it effectively. Whatever CRM you're going to use it effectively. And I know agents that are crushing it, killing it, multiple time icons that are just using their cell phone. Just the cell phone, just the contacts and their calendar on their cell phone, for things like birthdays, client birthdays. You put it in there. All right, this is Johnny Smith's birthday. It's the same time every year, right? So why not go on your phone and put that in your phone and set up an alarm every year to hit them on their birthday? That's one touch that you don't have to worry about. Christmas, on and on, right? Whatever holidays they may celebrate. So I love that. Now taking it to the final level of folks that now are crushing it. They're seeing some success. Maybe with back in my Remax days where I was at, where I hit the ceiling, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm crushing it. I mean, I'm doing a ton of business, but I'm burnt out, right? I need to figure out how to leverage. How do I build a team? How do I really crank this thing up? So what would your advice be? Tell us about that when you decided, hey, we really need to get some leverage here. And that's the only way to go to this next level, to where now, you've got 30, 40, 50 folks that now are on your team.
So most people, most realtors chase commission success, not financial success. Commission success is when you're earning all the commission. You don't hire admins, you don't hire staff, you don't hire agents, or you don't build a team because you want to keep everything to yourself. The first thing I did when I was a brand new agent, and within 6 months, I hired an admin because I evaluated, Tony, what my hourly worth was. So back in the day, when I was a brand new realtor, my hourly worth was $50 an hour. Today, it's $500 an hour. And the way it's simple math, if you earn $100,000 a year, divide that by two, remove some zeros, your hourly rate is $50. If you earn $200,000 a year, your hourly worth is 100. So back in the day, my hourly worth was $50 because I was earning $100,000. Today I'm earning $1 million. So my hourly worth is 500. Whatever your hourly worth may be, 10, 20, 50, $80, you should not be doing a task that can be outsourced to somebody who can do the same task for less cost. So most people, and by the way, I also came from Remax world. We were trained and groomed. You're a single agent. Next, you got to build your team, then get your broker's license, get a franchise, build your brokerage, and do this and do that. In the end, what are we all seeking? Financial freedom. And being a team lead, being a broker owner of a brokerage does not necessarily mean you're getting financial freedom. You actually inherit a lot of headaches,
It's a
a lot of
job.
pain points. It's a
Yeah.
job. So when I was Remax in 2018, I had 15, 20 team members, a lot of success, but I was responsible for them. But when I joined EXP, we have people like yourself. We have EXP staff members to field all the questions. We have training that's provided to us from EXP corporate. So what you got to do is evaluate what stage are you in. The path that's been known to us, agent to team lead to broker owner, that path is not for everyone. Just because you've been realtor for 15 years does not mean you'll be an effective leader or effective broker of record or broker owner. Does not mean that. So you got to really do a deep down review as to what your strengths and your qualifications are and what you're good at. Some people are exceptional realtors, but they're not good team leads or good broker owners. So you got to evaluate that. And a cheat sheet that I use all the time, I use certain tools and mechanisms. One that I use all the time, Tony, is called a DISC profile, DISC. D stands for driver, interactive, stabilized, and cautious. So you take this personality test, it gives you a 50-page report. It tells more about yourself, that whether you are outgoing, introvert, extrovert, are you risk taker, non-risk taker. So I have a certain profile traits which are very relevant. Somebody who needs to be in leadership position, somebody I'm looking to hiring to be in administrative position. They have to be do the same task over and over again. I need them to be very cautious, very systematic, right? So when you're growing your business, whether you're becoming a team lead, broker owner, or hiring a staff, finding the right partners to partner with you is the key to being successful. Early on, as a new team lead, I would hire anyone who came my way. You're a licensed realtor, come on, join the Set Brothers team. And I would spend hours and hours. I'm giving you all the opportunities. Why don't you go and do the open house? Because they were not financially motivated. They were not hungry. So no matter what stage you're in, you're a brand new realtor or you're a seasoned realtor or a team lead, finding the right people to join an organization is key. The best analogy I can give you, if you were to ever buy a used car from Craigslist, you would never buy the car without running a Carfax report, correct?
Right? Of course.
A disc profile report is a Carfax report for humans. I have done it. I had my wife do it, my sister do it, my mom do it, my dad do it. So when I communicate with them, I know what reward system they like. I know what communication style is relevant to them. So no matter what path you are leading on today, from a team lead to a broker owner or agent to a team lead, you got to find the right tools and resources to attract the right people within the organization. So I'm extremely driven. So my on a scale of 0 to 100, I'm a 99D, 99I, very interactive, very outgoing, but very low S, very low C. I'm not cautious. I take a lot of risks. Now, to lead my company, if I was the only one, I would crash and burn everything. So my business partner, Sonnet, he's a 99S, 99C, complete opposite of mine. So when my team members or clients need someone to talk to them patiently, how's the day going? Let me show you 100
He is so
homes,
kind and
right?
sweet.
And that's it. You need strategies, you need vision, you need strategic input. That's where I come in. So finding the right partner in your company, in your sphere, is critical. Don't find people like you because you got you. Find what traits you have that are your weaknesses, what you're not good at, and find someone that complement. That's actually one secret sauce of our team. And we've closed over $500 million the last 9 years. Last year we did 117 million. It's because the team members that I bring in on the operations side, transaction side, realtors I recruit, they are wired to be successful in that position of profile.
I love that, and it's funny. That's something I have the staff, broker staff, do as well. So every one of them has done the disc profile, And and it's one of the things that the first things they do when they come on board is they read it, in front of everyone. Say, hey, look, this is how it came out. And some things they'll agree with, some things that they won't agree with. They'll say, yeah, this is me. Oh, that's not really me. Maybe I answered the wrong or whatever. But it gives the whole team an idea of, okay, this broker is really, really detail oriented, and this kind of thing. This broker is a great sales trainer, and they're all D&I. So I think that I think, and as I'm putting together work groups or we're trying to solve different problems, I know who to go to and say, look, we have a logistical problem. I need this broker, that broker, and this broker to really work on this. And then we're having a sales thing, or we're having a real life event or something like that. Like Shay, I know, like, hey, Shay, you need to go to this party and do this thing, and it's going to be great. So there's other brokers I wouldn't have do that. So I couldn't agree with you more there. And do you find though, sometimes folks hold things like the DISC or Briggs Freeman or some of these other personality tests? You got to be careful that you don't make them into like a religion, and it's like, because someone tested as a C, now that's all they are and they're all they'll ever be. And, you can't do this unless you're that. How do you counterbalance that, right? From being a helpful tool into like a religion.
Absolutely. So you said it correctly, Tony. It's just a tool. It's
Right.
just a data point, one data point.
Right.
For me, when I meet with a potential, prospect or a team member or real-time recruiting, I ask a lot of questions. Not because in my previous life I used to be an auditor, so I'm an expert in asking questions. I want to know why they got the license, why they're in the business. If they applied
Mm,
for a position to be my transaction partner, why are you applying? If I determine their why, if they're just financially unsuccessful and all they need is a job to pay the bills, that's a short-term thing that they need to benefit out of the situation. But eventually they will go out. If somebody says, I just need to be an admin because they have bills to pay, but they're wired to be an extrovert, to be in sales, well, that's not aligned with long-term success. So I create compensation programs or I create position profile that's aligned with long-term success. So while this profile at least gives me a clear perspective, is this person an introvert or are they an extrovert, right? In my opinion, if you want to be successful in sales, if I can say this, you have to be an extrovert. You cannot be someone who's shy, talking to people. Your success will be limited. If someone is too talkative, they want to socialize all the time. Will they do their job of doing transaction support effectively? Probably not, because they want to be talking all the time. So
right.
there's certain attributes I would take them as litmus test. Are they good in operational, transaction, or in what role? But grooming someone towards their strength is the key. So when I look at this profile and I meet with someone, I ask a lot of qualifying questions. But my objective is, what do I need to do to identify the core strengths this person has? And if today they cannot be in that position, eventually I will get them to that position, because that's when they feel fulfilled and successful. So to summarize, what you asked me was, this profile is just a tool to give you some insight about person, but
That's beautiful.
talking to them in person, engaging with them, asking the questions, why they got the license, why in the business, why they live in Houston, asking all those questions gives you so much insight. Let them talk, let them share, and then you evaluate is the right partnership or not.
That's it. And it's about treating your real estate business like a true business, right? And you're using this data point, because if it was just about disc profiles, a computer, certainly AI could assign people, to your job. But it's your job as the owner, as the business person in this relationship to look at this and go deeper, right? And to dig and ask the questions that are important in looking at the long-term future of your business and where you want it to be. Again, to circle all the way back to the beginning, for the legacy that you're looking to leave, whether it be with your business, with your family, or what it is you're trying to achieve. So thank you so much, Kunal. It's been absolute pleasure, absolute joy chatting with you today. So much value for everyone else. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't gotten 7-8 figures worth of information to go and apply to your business right now today, you must have been watching a different podcast. All I can say, as well as we wrap up, um, what do you want to share? What do you have? If someone wants to reach out to you now, how can they do that? How can they partner with you? How can they get a success space? I know you're building out your own office there. They want to join your team, whatever they're looking to do, partner with you. How can they get a hold of you?
So my cell phone number is 832-543-3222. If that's hard to remember, dial 1-855 Seth Bro. 1-855 SETHBRO. that goes
Love
to a
it.
centralized calling
Branding.
system,
Yeah.
branding. And so if you have need to consult with me, coach you, mentor you, how I build my team, or you want to learn more about the success co-working space that I'm opening in Houston market, you want to talk about how I build my team, what I do on a daily basis, happy to help you be more successful, because more successful we are, this industry gets elevated.
That's right. And successful entrepreneurs are transformed here at that success space. I love that. Never forget it. Y'all know how to get me as well. EXP agents, hit me on Workplace Chat. Everybody else, hit me on LinkedIn. And that's it for today. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see y'all next week. We got a big surprise for y'all next week. Don't forget to check in. All right. Thanks, y'all.